Here we are at the last question, number 25 of this first logical reasoning section, section 2 in Prep Test 158 over at lawhub.lsac.org. And as always, we've got one of the highlighting colors selected, and we're going to go straight to the question stem, which reads, the reasoning in the argument above is most similar to the reasoning in which of the following. So we're just being asked to find some sort of parallel reasoning, and we still are going to have to engage with the paragraph, identify what the conclusion is, and we're going to try to determine as well whether this is a flawed argument or a valid argument to help with our elimination once we get to that step of evaluating the choices against the given argument. But we'll read the argument first. If you complete 24 graduate credits and a thesis in our department, you are eligible to receive a master's degree. Roger has completed 24 graduate credits in our department, yet he is not eligible to receive a master's degree. So he must not have finished his thesis yet. So we will highlight this conclusion, which is Roger must not have finished his thesis yet. And let's break this down just mentally for a moment. It says that should someone complete 24 graduate credits and a thesis, they're eligible for a master's degree. Roger has done one part of this two-part requirement, but is not yet eligible to receive a master's degree. So it does logically follow that he would not have satisfied the second part, because if he had satisfied the second part, he would have some sufficient conditions met to receive that master's degree. So we need to find an answer choice that has a valid argument ultimately. So we're going to start with choice A on the right-hand side, and we're going to kind of count the steps, and we're going to highlight as soon as a step doesn't match or that we've got a flawed argument, since we know our original argument in the prompt is valid. So starting with choice A, if the mayor and the city council had approved the proposed budget, the botanical gardens would be able to open this week. Okay, so we got two parts, mayor and city council, and then this condition would be allowed to happen. So then the botanical gardens cannot open this week, even though the city council approved the proposed budget. So the city council did what it was supposed to do. Thus, the mayor must not have approved the proposed budget, and this matches the structure almost identically. It, again, is a little bit dense, but if you break it down piece by piece, hopefully you can see why choice A is the correct answer. But for the purposes of this video, we will go through the remaining answer choices, finding reasons to eliminate, but if you are in the actual LSAT and you find something that matches and you feel confident that it does, you'll probably just move on at that point, especially for a parallel reasoning structure. So just scrolling down a little bit to see B, C, and D, we've got, if I see a science fiction movie, I either love it or hate it, okay? Right now, I see an or. There are no ors in our given statement, and this is how you can go faster through the elimination, but we'll keep going with this one. So I do not hate the movie I am watching now. Therefore, I will probably end up loving the movie since it is a science fiction movie. Again, there's that or, and there's also this qualifier of probably. Well, there's no qualifier of probably in the original, so for either of those two reasons, we can eliminate choice B as not being similar to the reasoning that was presented about Roger. So we'll scroll down again, get all of the remaining answer choices. We've got choice C. If the government or some other party had bought the processing plant, the local economy would have improved, but the local economy did not improve. Therefore, neither the government nor any other party bought the processing plant. Well, we're not concerned with a neither. And as soon as I see that qualifier and quantifier, I go, well, that's not going to match Roger's situation. Then choice D, books at Falling Embers Bookshop are on sale only if they are either used books or paperbacks. The book I am looking for at Falling Embers is on sale. Therefore, if the book I am looking for is not a paperback, it is a used book, even if this is a valid argument, we don't care because there's no conditional piece to the argument involving Roger on the left-hand side. So as soon as we see that conditional, we know it's not similar. And then choice E, if Doria owes more money, well, once again, we've got our conditional of if, and well, actually, there is a little bit of an if up there, but if Doria owes more money than she can pay back, then she must either get a higher paying job or declare bankruptcy. Well, that's, again, there's a bit more of a conditional here, but we'll continue through E just to prove it out. But Doria does, in fact, owe more than she can pay back, yet she does not want to declare bankruptcy. Well, a want, does that say whether she does or does not? Again, there are a lot of reasons we can eliminate E. You won't spend this much time evaluating E once you've figured out that A matched our original argument almost exactly. And hopefully, working through all of these explanations for Prep Test 158 Section 2 have helped you to identify how to work through the logical reasoning question types in the LSAT on your own, working with the highlighting tools in particular, because you can see how important it is to expedite and make yourself more accurate as you do these practice problems, getting ready for your official LSAT.